Hello, my dear Gemini. This is your love and spirituality reading for the time between April 16 and April 30, 2018, with me, Queen of Cups Tarot. I've done my readings in the order of most viewed up till now, but next time I will do the readings in the order of most liked. So don't forget to hit the thumbs up. I have put astrological information for the month of April in a video of its own that you can check out in my playlist Q&A. You can also find it at my webpage www.queenofcupstarot.se, where you can find and buy all the decks I'm using in this video. There is a subscription service up on my webpage that you can take part of if you want to learn more about spiritual growth, yoga and tarot. So for this reading I'm using the Osho Zen Tarot by Deva Padma. And I have been using this off and on since 2000, not this particular deck because it's brand new, but a Swedish version. So I'm doing reversals because this is what I'm used to with this deck. Okay. So when I open your deck here, I see harmony and courage. So harmony is 10 of cups and courage is the strength card, number 8. It seems like you have found a home inside yourself, Gemini. You have found a home inside your heart. It's also the connection between head and heart, or third eye and heart. So now you are guided, divinely guided by your higher self and your soul, and also helped as always by the divine, but now they can also communicate with you because you have been much more courageous with being able to accept your situation. When you accept your situation and when you stay inside your body, you come home to yourself. So no matter what the outside circumstances is, you're always home. Okay, so I call divine with love and light. And here we have courage and control in the reverse, so it shows a person that's not home with themselves, while the 10 of cups was a person that was in the center of their own being. This is a person that has disaligned themselves with themselves. So when you want to start to control your environment, control what other people do, say, like, don't like, when you want to control your own feelings and what you like and don't like, and etc., then you fall out of alignment with yourself. So we can see on this person is very structured. He doesn't have like a lower body. It's only head. It's like he doesn't have any feelings or instinct. It's just he's using just his mind. And then you become not so courageous. The King of Swords in the reverse is like a person saying, view humankind like 30,000 years back in time. There was still a lot of saber-toothed tigers around, and people were probably sometimes very scared. The King of Swords in that situation would be a person that would stay in the cave and, just go out in groups more than 5 people and have always spear with you, only go on known tracks. So it's like being in a war zone kind of mentality. There's not much fun in this life. You're just surviving, and this is what we can see with this person. They always need to premeditate their every movement to stay alive, and it's making you not align with yourself. It's also making you a very scared person and over controlled. So I'm not saying that you are in a war zone. I'm just saying that you are might still be, if you have this mindset, you're still in the war zone mentality. So it's just these two polarities. Either you can be like the first, what we saw, the 10 of cups and the courage, very courageous and trusting the universe. And if I will be eaten by a saber-toothed tiger, so be it. And this is human mind wants to survive. The human body wants to survive. Don't go outside the lines. You will be eaten. Okay. So, I call the 4 archangels in the 4 corners of the world. And here we have schizophrenia, to a source, together with courage. So sometimes we need to be courageous like this. And with the Two of Swords in the reversed, when it's in the upright position, you can kind of still hold on there. You are helped by gravity and you don't have to let go, but you can't do anything else by, it's kind of hanging on the fence in a situation, not taking a decision. To fall here, it's the same as maybe not surviving, or feeling like you won't survive, or feeling like your heart would beat outside your body because you get so scared. So for example, with the Two of Swords can be silent treatment. We don't want to talk with someone because we don't want the uncomfortable aftermaths from talking with them. Maybe not from them personally, but maybe only from our own inside. If we talk with to a person, for example, that we admire a great deal, we might get very nervous inside. And also after we have done this, why did I say this? Why did I approach this person? Why, oh why? Because now your inside is all like you have an adrenaline rush and you feel upset. You're not in the stability. But here with the Two of Swords in the reverse, it's like gravity is not helping you anymore. So it's like falling or falling. You have nothing to really choose from. The situation is becoming like unbearable. There's no good options, but there are no way to stay in the place where you're at either. So it's like when we stay in the cave because of the saber-toothed tigers, but eventually we run out of food. So that's the kind of situation here. And courage. So courage is still there, kind of trying to get you out of this situation, get you out of this mind controlled situation, because it's not healthy for you. You are asked to be somewhere else. You might be in a war zone mentality and you are asked to come out of that because the war is over since 10 years. It might be like this sometimes. We just stay in a certain momentum as well. Okay, so I call the 6 elements: earth, wind, exhaustion, and the 2. Yes, this can be very exhausting. To hang like this, or to be in between a rock and a hard place. You need food, but you can't get out. It's very hard. You want love, but you don't want to be humiliated by finding out that someone doesn't love you. Or you want a job, but you don't want to ask for it. Maybe someone will turn you down. Or it might be a problem, like a real serious problem that you have, that seems unsolvable, and it's exhausting you. So exhaustion, 9 of Wands is this, and it's in the reversed position. So it's showing like it's almost post-traumatic stress disorder level on this. It's not easy. Your body is in a real it's like almost so reactive that it has become numb. Okay, so to this state, and it might be many people are living their whole life in this state, like numb, because they have been through so much trauma that they can't really react or act normally anymore. They are just this trauma and nothing else. So some have this problem. It's no fault to their own, but they are the only one that can take themselves out of there. Okay, earth, wind, fire, water, spirit, and ether to join us here today. Yes, creativity, and to give us a clear view reading for my dear Gemini viewers. So creativity, it's the 3, the Empress, and your own, it's like some other part of your mind will help you to escape this situation. It will be something like out of a box solution, something that you haven't thought of before, or you weren't courageous enough to do it before. So this is a lot about loosening up a little bit. Maybe taming the saber-toothed tigers and have them as riding animals. I don't know, but it's something here that's out of the box thinking. It's not the same old. It might be if you can't go out because there's no your neighbors are throwing grenades at you. This is like a peace treaty. Okay, giving them bread instead of grenades, ending the blood revenge kind of cycle in your life. Okay, So I'm just talking about with the image that I get. It might be that you have been in war in this lifetime or in other lifetimes, but for now it's usually like a memory of this, and it will maybe manifest again, but on a lower level. It might be like a quarrel among friends, or a bigger arguments in a family, or like social hell on your workplace, something like this. Okay, so I want my dear Gemini to have love in their lives. Master, yes, the master. So it's about becoming fully illuminated, becoming your full self. It doesn't matter your conditioning or what you have learned, or what you need to watch out for, or previous mistakes. You need to find who you are and become centered. And now you're a little bit off course because you live in this war zone mentality a little bit. But we saw in the beginning with the 10 of Cups and the Courage card that this is kind of your goal, and when you get there you will be this master, okay, because then you are aligned with yourself. I want you to find yourself in loving relationships, and I also want you to have creative success and to be able to walk on your highest path. And the Lovers in the reversed. So I think it's a bit about you fear your own heart, because your own heart is making a number on you. So every time you get into a love relationship, your heart region becomes a war zone. It's like you feel like not like a victim, but I'm thinking herbivore, carnivore here, but I can't find a better word. Okay, you are a herbivore and you are being hunted by carnivores. So predator versus the other thing, okay, and you are the other thing. So in love you become like very vulnerable, and you feel very insecure then. So that's what's throwing you out of your master role. Whenever things like the stakes is getting a little bit high and you can really lose something, someone that maybe really means something to you, then you become vulnerable, and you can't be vulnerable because you are in the survival mood. And if you are depending on something or love something, it can be used against you to keep you, to subordinate you, or to kill you maybe. Okay, so this is some real war zone mentality, like when people are kidnapping your family to force you to do what they want you to do. So this kind of thing, it's some kind of remedy, a memory from what you have been through, or you actually live under these circumstances right now. But however, you need to stay true to your heart and true to the one you love. You might be, people might be able to use your heart against you, but it doesn't matter, okay? Your life that you have now is animated life. It's manifested life in a game called Maya, Lila, illusion. It's not here for real. It's like you're looking through a looking glass, or and your conscious is going through this looking glass and out in this manifested life. But really, you are not living here. You are being the big soul that's looking. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust is what we're all going to become one day. But how we live while we are living, it's the important thing here. So if you love someone, you love someone. If they make you vulnerable, they make you vulnerable. It's no problem. Okay, what you need to do is to clean out your own inside, so you don't get hysterical just because your heart beats. Okay, yes. Okay, see if we can. We have the dream here, and it's in the reversed, tuning in also in the reversed. If you can't acknowledge that you do have the dream, you do have a lot of voices, you try to just maybe be have a louder voice than your heart's voice, like na 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 na, so you don't hear whatever is going on inside of you. So it's a lot of resistance. You need to start to acknowledge what is. Okay, that's the first step to recovering, acknowledging what you're feeling in your heart, even if it's not something you don't want to feel, something you wish to the other end of the moon, like the dark side of the moon. There it can take residence, but yeah, you don't control this. So whatever is just accept it. Resistance, it just keeps the thing stuck in your life. When you start to accept, say, I accept that I love this person. I accept that this person doesn't love me. I accept that there's a war going on here between us. I accept. And that is going to put you in a much better position than what you were before. Okay. Yes, it's about cooperating with the divine, which they are kind of thinking that you don't. So they want to create Holy Trinity together with you so they can help you. But currently you are not maybe communicating with them because you don't like what you see inside of you. You want to be indestructible, or you want to be not vulnerable anyway. And you think that life is forcing you to become very hard because there's a lot of evidence on evil people on the outside of you, but they are just there to squeeze you between this rock and the hard place, so you will be very, very challenged and will have to give up eventually for the forces that's out of your control. And when you let go of control, then you align with your center here. Okay, so 16 minutes shuffling cards, that's some kind of record. I will tune in for a few seconds here. So it's only through your heart you can open your third eye. That's what I just saw. Okay. So my dear Gemini, that's your future. This is your now, and this is your past. And we have another two, and it's in reverse, and it's two possibilities. It's two of wands. So there's like a world of possibilities in front of you, but you have become a little bit enclosed, so you can't really see them. It's this with hanging on the fence, not daring to go outside the cave, outside your comfort zone, doing something that's not like typical you, but it's typical you. It's just not typical for you in your domesticated, conditioned form. Okay, so trying to hold on to old things, old way of doing things, even though they are not there anymore and not really helping you anymore. It's just fear and old habits. And here we have the now, and it's the stress card. It's 7 of Wands. So 7 of Wands is it's it's a beautiful card of a person trying to be the best version of themselves. Okay, really trying to be the best version of themselves. But sometimes we can do this and we forget who we are. So we're trying to work a lot, have very good high moral standards, temper our dramatic emotions, so we will be tolerable for other people, have high boundaries so no one will come and be able to hurt us. So we're trying really hard, and then comes something like love or a disease or something that makes you stumble where you are. A disease is a good way for the body to, when we are striving really hard towards something and we are not supposed to go there, we are running in 108 kilometers per hour in this direction when we were supposed to go in this direction, and then the disease come and stops us from doing anything at all, so we can stay in the now, inside who we are, and find out what we were really supposed to do. So with the 7 of Wands in the reversed, it might be that you need to lower your protection a little bit, lower your efficiency, being less strategic, taking things more as they come, okay? So it's your plan, and it looks like this, and the divine plan that looks like something else. And the divine wants you probably to discover this by yourself, but if you don't, they will blow that balloon. So if you are a very protective person living inside your walls, you will fall in love. If you are a person that's super efficient and never misses a deadline, you will get sick, and so on. Okay, and here we have the Fool. So it's much what we saw in the first card, the union with the head and the heart and courage. And here we have the Fool. We also had the Two of Swords, which were a person avoiding to fall. This is free willingly falling, free falling. Thinking that's the song, Free Falling. Okay, if I remember, I will put it in the description box for you. Okay, so the Fool is about being brave-hearted, and remember that you live in Maya, illusion, Lila. It's a game of life, and you have a body, but it's for you, it's borrowed. Okay, you will just have it a little while, and then you will move on with your soul. And the Fool is like this. He kind of forgets a little bit that he has a body with limitation, and that he can actually be eaten by saber-toothed tigers. So he just do whatever comes to mind. And what we need from you is kind of a little of both worlds. We are not saying here that you are supposed to forget where you came from, but it's like you are this thing here, and you're supposed to take in this thing here and become both of these things. So both smart and courageous, both careful, but also being able to risk it all when the moment comes. So you need to become more balanced, probably, and by doing something that will make your heart beat a little bit, I think you will come, if you think now what you know, kind of what you should do, what's expected of you from a spiritual point of view, and you refuse to do it, you don't want to do it. If you would do it, you will get this adrenaline rush. That's probably it. Okay. Yes. This is your path, so it's March, first half of April, and we have Trust. Trust is the Knight of Cups, so it might be that you have a water person in your life, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, or another person might have offered you their love, or you might have offered them their love. It's much the same energy. The Ten of Cups with the Strength card, the Fool. It's like a person being very trusting and offer, like, if I feel like this might be the way, this must be where I'm supposed to go. But this is like a dreamer, so he or she is, of course, thinking that there will be a reward for their courage. But they are young, it's a night, so they don't know that it's not always there comes a reward on the outside. The reward might be something happening on the inside, making you more tolerant, more balanced, more cool, more loving, more open, more vulnerable, okay, more you. So it's not always that just because you feel like you need to bring the lover that or the person that you have loved for an eon a letter doesn't mean that this person will love you back. It just means that you're becoming more courageous so you can deliver letters. Okay, and here we have silence, and silence is the star. And when you go into silence, you go within, you are connected with your higher self, with your soul, with everything in kind of another dimension that's here in the same time that it's not here. All your divine helpers, your dreams is a beautiful way to connect with the divine and your higher self. So if you know what your dreams are, you know where you are supposed to go, okay? But this with getting instant gratifications or getting instant rewards, you can forget about it. Usually it doesn't work like that. We do what we do, even if in the greatest resistance, okay? We do what we feel we need to do. We are following our own instinct, our own heart, our spiritual guidance, wherever it takes us, even if the mountains is steep and the hazards are many, okay? So beautifully. And here we have moment to moment, because it's like you're learning something new. You are on this threshold between connection between head and heart, and maybe the old paradigm of being very careful. It might be the other way around also for some of you, Gemini. You have had a very open heart and being foolishly naive, and now you're going to learn how to be more careful, protective. It might be that the protective person that I've described is a person in your surrounding, mirroring something that you need to learn step by step. Or step by step you're learning to open your heart, to trust your divine guidance and do whatever needs to be done. It's another two, but it's now in the upright position, showing that you are doing this carefully step by step. Learn to crawl before you can walk or run, okay? So it's very beautiful, very still, very trusting. It's like the path for you is have been revealed step by step. So you didn't get like, you might just have felt the dream in your heart, and you knew in what direction you would go, but the plan isn't revealed to you more than 1-2 steps at a time. So it's kind of, you are in the unknown, but you're trusting. So you're putting that one foot in front of the other and walking forward, even if you don't know where this will end up eventually. So that's very brave of you. Next card is ordinariness, and it's in the reverse. So it's like you're meeting some kind of opposite energy here. Someone that doesn't want to cooperate with you, doesn't give squat about divine will, and doesn't care about being like a good trooper. So someone that might be a little bit selfish or preoccupied with their own dreams and their own things. So it's like you're not getting any help here. 8 of Pentacles, it's a card of beautiful willingness to do kind of the same exercise over and over and over and over again until you have learned to do it perfectly. It's kind of what karma is, and here is in the reverse. So you might be encountering some kind of karma here that will make your road a little bit less easy. I'm talking in presence because some of you are watching in early April, so this might be going on in your life already. And here we have the Thunderbolt. So that's the Tower card, and I'm thinking that there's some kind of clash of titans. One person that's very trusting and loving, and the other person is very not trusting and live their life by certain rules, and it's a clash here. This is what I'm feeling. So both of you are supposed to take down each other's we have, even if we are loving and trusting the divine, we might have limitations, because we might always go with the flow. We always go with the flow, even if there's like warning red flags on the edge of the river. You still go with the flow because you're so trusting. And the other person is not ever going with the flow. Even if they are grabbed by the river, they will swim upstreams and try to make it onto their other side, where they will have control again. So it's like two energies is clashing together, because one needs to maybe start to take a little bit control over their lives, and the other person might need to start to open up to life's adventures. This is what I mean with things will not always go as planned. You might fall in love with someone that's really not like you, for example. You have loved them from afar, or you have or loved them closely but not really revealed the innermost secrets for them. And now you're kind of asked to do so, but the reward might not come in the way you have expected it. The reward might be you learn something from this person, not that they will fall in your arms and kiss you till you can't breathe, okay? So it's some kind of twist to this. We'll see. With the Tower there. So we can expect that there's some kind of twist. Here we have integration. So this is what I have been talking about, these two very different people or groups of people, the shadow to your light. So when you see a stranger or another people in another country become a stranger to your country, maybe these are the other ones, okay, the one that's not like you. So it's like a cultural clash here between people. You might have grown up on the same street but still have totally different worldview. Same family even, totally different worldview. So you're meeting someone that has something to give you, like a gift of wisdom. As I said, you had this wisdom now, and this person might have this wisdom, and when you have really clashed together, you will have this wisdom, like twice as much as what you had before. So this is why we're here, to have a lot of experience, to throw ourselves into beautiful adventures that will left us very wise, okay? But not so wise that we will stay in our comfort zone and barricade ourselves and not live life anymore, okay? So that's a lot of attraction too with these, the trust. It might be someone that has been like between a rock and a hard place and decide to, well, I don't want to do that anymore. I'm going to turn things upside down here. I'm going to do something adventurous because I'm so attracted to this, my dream, or a person. And here we have 5 of Swords, and it's in the reverse, so comparison. So it's about this story where the king was planting a beautiful garden for himself with a lot of different species. Roses, cypresses, oak trees, okay, maybe lilies and dahlias, beautiful creatures were they, all of them. But when the king was ready with his garden, he came to it one morning and saw that all the trees and the plants were sulking. And he asked the rose why it was nodding with its head, and it said, well, I want to be old and wise like the oak tree. And the oak tree wasn't happy either, because it wanted to be tall and grand like the cypress. And the cypress wasn't happy either, because it wanted to smell good as the rose. But when the king went forward to the little dahlia, it saw that it was bursting in beautiful colors and stand there in pride of who they were. And so the king asked, okay, so what's your secret, dahlia? Why are you like so happy when the others are not? And the dahlia said, well, my king, if you planted me here, I guess you wanted me exactly as I were. Okay, so this is what the 5 of Swords is all about. We want other people or ourselves to all be conformed, like in one shape and form. So it will be acceptable for our very limited brain if everyone looked the same, talked the same. Yes, overall were the same. It will be easy. Everyone could get along, you think. But we are here all for our different reasons, in a myriad of shapes and colors and expressions, and with different wisdoms in different areas to kind of fertilize each other. So here with the 5 of Swords in reverse, you're asked to no more make comparisons, okay? The other person is what they are, and you can't put them in the shape and form that's are you. You can't maybe really fully understand them. If they don't want to reveal themselves to you, you might never understand them. You can think and start to brood your brain with trying to figure them out, but if they don't let you in to the secret that's them, you might never realize what they are made of or where they come from. So this is about meeting people in a very authentic way. The person that just moved from a country across the world into your neighborhood, be curious about them. Ask them about their life, about what they have been through. Try to get to know them. It's like reading a book. If you're really interested about something, like fixing motorcycles. You might read a lot of literature about this, or listen to a lot of people that have a lot of knowledge about this, or go to some kind of school. And this is what you need to do with this person that have come into your life. You should really do it to everyone in your life that comes across your path. Be a little bit more interested in them. Even if it's just a short encounter, you can look them in the eye and really like be present with them. Even if it's just like you're signing a package before they are going, there can be a real meeting, and you don't have to make them into you to be able to accept them. They can be totally different from you. If you are well brought up rich girl and you're meeting a person with a lot of piercing and tattoos maybe in their face, you can still have this meeting. You don't have to be, oh, that's so different. Okay. So next card is the Six of Swords, and it's in the reverse. So this is the burden. Six of Swords is usually kind of this head and heart connection. It's 6, it's connected to the Lover's card. But in this deck, it talks about all the things you try to be, but you're not. And here, it's about accepting that you aren't all these things that you wanted to be. You are you. Okay, you are the Dahlia, so just accept it. Don't try to be. If you are very lazy, you will probably always be very lazy, okay? You can still want to contribute to other people in the best way you can, but maybe your contribution might be in the laziness, okay? So this card in the reverse kind of means that you are doing all these things that I said. You're starting to become more aware about the person in front of you, and that you actually can't control them. They don't work together with you, and that's the Clash of Titans. But here you kind of just, okay, so they are not like me. This is new. This was the new one. And so you don't ask of them to be like you, but you don't ask of you to be like them either. So it's like accepting, agreeing on disagreeing, and also being curious, not just, you know, walking away from each other. Okay, you didn't think like me, so bye bye to you, but more like, okay, so I wonder why you came on my path then. What am I to learn from this person or this situation? So stay curious. Okay, and here we have the winds of change in the reversed position, and it comes underneath ordinariness, which I said was probably some kind of karma. And the wheel of fortune here in the reversed is, of course, karma as well. Something is coming back to you. Something that you once sent away will come back to you. It's like this when we have lived many lives as a dahlia. We will have to live many lifetimes as an oak tree to understand the oak tree a little bit better. And especially if we were this dahlia and we started to have like our nose up in the air because the king made us to the most wisest plant in his whole garden, then we might say, well, the oak tree was the wisest before, but now it's me because I was much more open to the king's wishes. And then you have to live a life as an oak tree to be able to see what the oak tree was made of and where it comes from and its wisdom. So it's just, if you are meeting someone on the outside that's like uncomfortable or in a comfortable situation, you have probably been in the same situation like 1,000 times before, and you weren't able to sort it out. Like with the 8s, having the same nightmare over and over again till you solve it. Or you have done one side of it to perfection, but now you need to do the other side of it. Maybe before you were the person with tattoos all over your face, and now you need to start to kind of accept the people that's rich and that they might not be evil either. Okay. Okay, so, and here we have aloneness. It's the Hermit card, and it's in reverse. So you're feeling very lonely. You're feeling like you are lost in space. Someone dropped you here, and you are with total strangers, and you don't know what's asked of you. Okay, so again, this is about being in a very dark world and becoming your own light. And the first thing you start is with the person in the mirror. Yes, okay, so that's also a song. It's different kind of songs. It's one with, I wish I had access to my memory when I was doing these readings, but sorry, it's not. No, maybe AEROSMITH, and the other is Michael Jackson, I think. Okay, so there it came. I just had to take a moment. And this is the same thing with the Hermit. It's about taking a moment, going deeper inside. So you're alone, fine. Enter your inside from there. Loneliness, it's a great doorway. Pain is usually the doorway to start to feel something inside yourself that you haven't really been feeling before. We have some dusty corners inside of ourselves that we never dared to clean, because when we went there, it kind of gave us the shivers, okay? When we feel pain somewhere, it's usually pointing to one of those corners in yourself where you need to make a little bit of a cleanup. Not to clean things out and brush them away, but actually integrate them, make them new and shiny, and integrate them in your soul self, okay? Becoming more your soul self by doing so, because you came here as a beautiful light, but as soon as you went into a body, things that were a little bit uninvestigated with you when you were your divine self comes into the shadow now when you shine through a manifested creature on earth, animated life. So here we can see your shadows. In the divine state we can't, so you're perfect. Here you're perfectly flawed, and you need to find your flaws and be buddy with them. So if you feel lonely, if you feel like there's a disaster because you can't see eye to eye with another person, or they don't even want you in your life, might be this, they might have thrown you away because, we don't seem to want the same thing, so we are probably not supposed to go on the same path. And it doesn't have to be love, it might be like work, whatever kind of situation, your talents, your dreams. Something has been thrown off here, and you feel like this couldn't be it. This wasn't what I aimed for. I bet everything here very courageously, and I was open for business to do whatever comes along. And then I'm just end up here alone, and to be frank, a little bit bitter. So what was this all about? Where I'm just to go to war and be left traumatized? Is this all that is? No, this is just the beginning. Okay, so you're traumatized in the beautiful way that you have been traumatized maybe in many, many lifetimes before when you couldn't solve it, or you have been traumatized in the way that you have traumatized someone else in a previous existence. And so now it's now when you have gotten the book of wisdom in your hands that you can actually start to learn something. So read this pain, this awful situation, and see what it wants to teach you. It has something that it wants to teach you. Right now I am into this with technology. It's I can be very smart with doing new things. So if you want me to make let's say to put together a computer so it will work, if I get the instruction, I will be able to do that, no problems. But then if the darn thing doesn't work, that is when I will blow my fuse like this, and I will feel like, what on earth was the point of putting all these hours into making this computer and it doesn't work? Okay, so it can be small things like this, irritating things like this, that wants you to get to know them. It's some area of your life you, as me, refuse to read instructions. That can be like a handicap a little bit. So what I need to learn is to be able to read instructions without starting to have white foam around my mouth and do this with my teeth, okay, and smoke coming out of my ears like in this. So just read instruction, it's bedtime story, feel my inside while I'm doing this, staying with it. Why is it so boring? Why do I want to kill myself in this situation rather than reading this instruction book? Okay, so it's something like this. I recognize this with myself, even though I don't have so much Gemini at all in my chart. Okay, and here we have healing. So it's going from Knight of Cups to a King of Cups. And this is a person becoming on the brink of becoming whole. So it's something that wants to be put straight in you. Some old thing that doesn't have to be there anymore. For my part, it's probably that whenever we got a new television or something in our house, my daddy was really upset trying to fix it all together. My sister, she has gone the other way, so she's very skilled with installing TV sets, computers, you name it, because she helped our father whilst I was upset for him being upset. Okay, so I felt his feelings, and so now we solved that for my end. We know what I need to do, and when I have done this, I won't be upset with buying new stuff, and I don't have to keep my new iPad in the box for 2 years before I open it, because I dread what will happen, how angry I will be when I have to make it work. Okay, so you have helped me a great deal, because everything with this is technology and it's working fine. It's just some small things like the computer and Google counts, things like this, and it's being put into place. I'm learning. Okay, so to not get upset about dead things that can't really argue with you is one thing, and this is what you need to do as well here. And you are so brave, and because you're just throwing yourself out here, you just know that, okay, there's a problem, so this problem wants to be fixed, and I'm brave enough to do it. I'm brave enough to embrace this. I am brave enough to feel my feelings, because I want them to be healed. I don't want to have dusty layers here where the pain from whatever is always lying and shaving a little bit. Wounds that never heals because I don't put any attention to them. Now you are kind of, everything is stripped away a little bit here because of divine interference. So you will have time to do this. There's nothing else to do but staying with this problem and seeing what it really is made of, and then it won't be a problem anymore, because no one can touch a person that's healed. Okay. And if you think you're so enlightened, go and spend a week with your parents, like someone said. Okay. And here we have turning in, and it's 4 of Cups, and it comes under this star card, Aquarius, and 5 of Swords. So it's a little bit resistance here, either from you or someone else that doesn't want to feel their feelings. No, thank you. No, I don't want to do the work with you. No, okay, it could be tremendous healing if we just talk this through. No, I don't want to. So you will face resistance also here, either inside yourself or on the outside of you. And here we have the dream that's in the reversed. So the dream in the reversed. It's something here. You have the 6, and it's air and it's water. So it's this connection with between mind and heart again, moment to moment. Okay, it won't happen overnight. This thing that with the healing thing, you are going bravely towards it, but it will take time. Okay, it will take time. It's like a lot of stories that wants to be told to you, and probably going to make you rather upset, but it's like what they say in this TV series, Grey's Anatomy, dark and twisted. So you need to be a little bit dark and twisted for a while, and wallow a little bit in these old stories of what, like lost love or lost riches or whatever you have lost that you never ever wanted to lose again. Because it's like I'm seeing a little bit of a soul contract here. You might, in some like when your first boyfriend broke up with you, you might have said, I will never love again. This is not for me. I don't ever want to feel like this again. And since then, you lived a lonely life. She lives a lonely life. That's also a song. I don't know if it's for you. Okay, so if I remember, I will put it up. It will be a lot of songs. And you just decided, and now these things wants to be kind of reversed. by you going to the original trauma, okay, and heal that, heal it. 16, 17, both are about healing, sometimes in very blunt ways, by putting your face to exactly that situation that's hurting. So for example, if we are afraid of spiders, you will see spiders everywhere. People that are allergic to cats, cats draws like them to magnets, because they are allergic to cats, because cats are very self-sufficient and they go wherever they go, and this person allergic to cats might be a person that doesn't have that much freedom, and they need to learn about freedom from the cat and when to have strong boundaries and still expect to be unconditionally loved. So go to the original wound, because it wants to be healed. So it's like reliving the past a little bit here. Might be, like I said before, some repetition going on, doing the same thing all over again, and you think, oh, this again, I thought I was over it. You're not over it until it doesn't touch you anymore, when you don't feel that it's a problem. For example, if you have problem with what can I see here? Maybe a little bit like a person that doesn't want to work together with you. So you always meet people that doesn't want to work together with you, until you kind of don't care that they don't want to work together with you. You have a job that needs to be done, so you say, this is what I will do. I will leave this up to you, and this is your responsibility, and I will do my thing here, and you are welcome to connect with me whenever you feel the need. For example, if the boss have given you and your worst adversary an assignment together, so you won't be upset with it. Maybe you won't get the job done, but you won't be upset. You will be like, oh, it's like every day, because it's not touching you anymore that this person isn't working together with you. It's no problem. And here we have the rebel, and the rebel is in the reversed. It's the emperor. In the reverse, emperor in the reversed, it's some old authority you have aligned with that seems to be the winning side. For example, to be cold-hearted because you didn't want to get hurt. These kind of things, like how you win over others by unjustified means, with trying to get leverage, for example, by not caring when you really do care, or acting like you don't hurt while you really do hurt. It would be a better thing to say, well, you really got me there. I feel that I got really humiliated here. So how can we work this out? Okay, so then you acknowledge that you've been humiliated, but you don't let it touch you. It's a different thing. And here I'm thinking that you have some kind of karma where you try to align with what seems the most simple. Either to go with the strongest force, because, for example, if someone has a lot of weapon power, you align with them, even if your heart is not with that person. Or, for example, if you, as I said, got your heart broken, deciding to not have a heart anymore, because that seems to be the most easiest thing to do. So you need to not be this lenient toward what is easiest. You need to do this what's best, like from your soul's perspective. For example, as I said, if you are in war and you have family, you are vulnerable. So that's what you need to accept. You will love them and you will do whatever it takes to save them, and it will make you vulnerable, but you won't give them up anyway, okay? You will still be you. You will still love them to the death, even if it costs your life. So it's this kind of honorable thinking that needs to come into you, this honorable alignment with your own soul. Don't take the easy road, okay? And next card is traveling. So it's another 8. 8 is connected to the strength card, which you had in the beginning. You have an 8 here, and it's also connected to repetitive situations. Here it's the sun's rays, your soul is shining up your new path. So it's like you're getting a lot of epiphanies right now that will get you towards where you are supposed to go. And it probably comes due to the divine is kind of crashing your style a little bit, like your old style of being like the emperor locked in a tower, making it not work for you, so you can do things in a more divine way. So it's a help that doesn't really feel like help, but it will feel like help in the end. It's like when you have been through something really rough and afterwards you can see that you have changed as a person and you're much better off for it. So this kind of thing. So there's something you have to do, somewhere you are supposed to go. And this with procrastinating is not something that you will be able to do here when this energy hits you in the future. It will be in May maybe, or in the summer. This energy will hit you and it wants to take you on an adventure, and you will be like in tuned enough now with yourself to be able to go there, and tuned enough with the divine to be able to know where you're supposed to go. So it's like you're resetted right now. Things are torn down, things are turned around. So you are kind of being left with yourself and with the ruins of it all. So you can take out a new course of direction. Okay, and here we had the Fool. A Fool together with the Traveling card. It suits very well. So you're about to go on a spiritual adventure. But first, you kind of need to heal the old to be able to go with the new. It might be like you will be hit with the ascension process, like really strong energies. DNA changing energies, or like sucking energies that will just rip you through a new state of being. But to be able to go through here without breaking into molecules, you probably need to heal your own frequencies, this broken heart of yours that you have kind of tried to not think about, or trying to ignore or pretend that it wasn't really there. Okay, so I will read the center card for you, the burden, from this deck. Okay, or Shosen, it's this how it looks. So when we carry a load of shoulds and shouldn't imposed on us by others, we become like this ragged, struggling figure trying to make it uphill. Go faster, try harder, reach the top, shouts the foolish tyrant he carries on his shoulder, while the tyrant himself is crowned with an imperious rooster. If life these days feels like just a struggle from the cradle to the grave, it could be time to shrug your shoulders and see what it feels like without these characters on your back. You have your own mountains to conquer, your own dreams to fulfill, but you will never have the energy to pursue them until you release yourself from all the expectations you're gathered from others, but not think are your own. Chances are they exist only in your own mind, but that doesn't mean they can't weigh you down. It's time to lighten up and send them on their way. Man's true life is the way in which he puts off the lie imposed by others on him. Stripped naked, natural, he is what he is. This is a matter of being and not of becoming. The lie cannot become the truth. The personality cannot become your soul. There is no way to make the non-essential the essential. The non-essential remains non-essential, and the essential remains essential. They are not convertible. And striving towards truth is nothing but creating more confusion. The truth has not to be achieved. It cannot be achieved. It's already the case. Only the lie has to be dropped. All aims and ends and ideals and goals and ideologies, religions and systems of improvement and betterments are lies. Beware of them. Recognize the fact that as you are a lie, manipulated, cultivated by others. Striving after truth is a distraction and a postponement. It is the lie's way to hide. See the lie, look deep into the lie of your personality, because to see the lie is to cease to lie. No longer to lie is to seek no more for any truth. There is no need. The moment the lie disappears, truth is there in all its beauty and radiance. In the seeing of the lie, it disappears, and what is left is the truth. Okay, so sometimes the lie is, for example, that you believe that someone loves you, but they are proving everything here that they don't. So sometimes you just have to accept the truth right before you. And also the truth may be that you love this person. So both these contradictions need to be there at the same time. You can't find easy solution to this. Whatever is. So I will take a Wild Kuan Yin Oracle card for you. Oh, to see what's going on. And it's Anchor to Fly. 23. So, you dream of taking flight, of living with a heart free to soar, your whole being unfettered by resistance as you rise up to meet your destiny. You yearn to experience the next exhilaration level of your life, something even more beautiful, wonderful, and uplifting than what has been, and so you shall. I am here to help anchor your growth so that your highest aspiration can be seated in this earthly world, transforming your hopes into reality, ensuring practical success for even your most transcendent, spiritual, inspired visions. Trying to escape the world by hovering above it doesn't help us bring our dreams to life. Fantasies, where the mind takes flight, can become the seeds of truly inspired ideas, but to transform those inspiration into reality, we need to be grounded. What this means is putting in the time and effort for taking practical steps towards our goals. That does not include attempting to control the timing of how and when the events in our lives unfold. It does include completing tasks to the best of our ability and consciously choosing to let go if we find we are trying to force something to happen, trusting in the loving genius of a great and benevolent universe that wants our divine fulfillment to manifest. So, this example with being in a relationship that's going nowhere. If you're trying to force someone to want the same thing you want, maybe stop the forcing, and you can still have the dream, but stop with striving and trying to make them into what you want them to be, and accept them for what they are, and also accept that your dream is there for a reason. Okay, so it can be very contradicting at times, and we can feel like it's an unsolvable problem. But if we don't see it as a problem anymore and just stay with whatever is, solutions will just show itself, like here, when you just accept that the house of cards just fell. When we do everything within our power to succeed whilst dropping all attachment, we are grounded and can fly successfully. Without the effort, we waft away from the earth like a lost kite. Without detachment, we cannot rise from the earth. We become weighed down by a distrustful need to control. We need a combination of effort and letting go with trust to become anchored enough to truly fly. Your heart is ready for this unconditional trust and the sense of lightness, freedom, and joy that it brings. So, okay, my dear Gemini, I hope this helped. I want you to take really, really, really good care, okay? It seems like you will go through a little bit of turmoil here, but you will come out better off for it, okay? So take really good care, and I welcome you back to my my May reading that I will do in mid-month April, okay? Bye-bye.